So that
pops up the first pitch. Foul ball.
like much, but that was the half season. But just the injury to his right knee, where he pretty much, that's a long time to step away from the game.
Yeah, his knee is in such bad. The 0-2. 1-2 on. Swing and a miss. Lewis down on strike.
The slider to Suarez that gave up the home run, and that's just such a good pitch. Just you know, all of a sudden now the hitter's aware of the inside.
Foul ball.
With that pitch, other than just kind of open up and pull it foul, and now
1-1. 2-1 on Raleigh. Mariners did acquire Kurt Casale, the catcher from the San Francisco Giants. Every team made a move except for the Colorado Rockies. So the count goes 3-2.
I do like the new ruling though, Michael, with the, you know, a soft trade deadline, and then the guy had to clear waivers or this or that.
Monument Park, Raleigh's 15th home run, and it's a 3-0 Seattle lead.
Seattle on their struggles, but boy, you hit a couple long balls, you get some runs on the board early. His 15th home run of the year. Again, belled high. Kind of a kick to get it going. Don't come back.
Kelnick swings and misses. We've told the story of Kelnick. He's the Mets prospect. Diaz and Cano deal. On display, they manifest themselves in good numbers. And then Paul, when he comes up here,
a step below where it takes to be successful at the major league level, and the opportunity they got in the major league, it's a big step. And if you're not ready for it.
Strike three. Kelnick down looking.
Balls to this point in the game. Good four-seam fastball right on the outside corner.
One and 0. Now it comes out of the Astros system, but how about this, Paul? He's called an
knew what they're going to throw.
1-2.
It was 2021, so he's getting an opportunity here.
1-2. So then he's traded in the middle of the series, and he homered in both of the first two games with the Mariners. 2. Ground ball, gobbled up by Rizzo. And he flipped a 3-0 lead after an inning and a half. Sportsbook, make every. What a player.
I just went through some numbers on, and I was finding some really cool. In 2004, George Sisler had 257. And then he also broke the record. He broke the all-time record for hits in a season, 262. Willie Keeler's gravesite, because he broke the all-time record of.
And to spend a good portion of his early
10 consecutive seasons with 200 hits, I mean, that's almost unheard of.
Word. 3-0 on Donaldson. He takes a strike. And Donaldson walks.
Griffey Jr. and then, you know, what Alex Rodriguez was when he came up, and all the way
on. Grounded and grabbed by Suarez. There's one on to first.
Michael, you went over last night. I mean, Seattle, what they do have.
Here's Trevino. Fly ball. That'll do it here in the second. We go to the third inning. It's 3. Kind of surprised everybody is the Jordan Montgomery trade. So we heard what Brian Cap trade deadline. They got Benintendi first. Then yesterday active getting Montas,
Michael, I think anytime you trade a left-handed pitcher who is guaranteed to give you 150, answered it for us in the press conference that he did. In the position that the Yankees are in right now, talk about Bader and his elite defense and the ability to come in and play great defenses. Tyone and Severino, or an opener in Severino, however you want to. He even went into scout speak. Scouts rank players or the traits that they have on one that could end up being an effective piece for them in the postseason.
I feel for the most, and we spoke about this earlier. Joey Gallo knew that a change of scenery.
Not knowing that it was coming, he told me that Aaron Boone called him into his office. Jordan Montgomery did speak to the media about an hour ago, and he simply told me in 2014 he's made his major league debut with this organization.
Stolen base.
Felt like he performed pretty well as a Yankee, but never felt as though he fully.
That will be odd. The Cardinals obviously needed to improve their pitching. Jack Flaherty is now with an injury. Stevie, if this proves anything, you know, fans think in different ways than front office. Let's just DFA him. But the Yankees knew they still had an asset, and it wasn't just the
strikeouts per 9 innings, so he can get swings and misses. He also averaged 6 walks, so he's got to be get for Gallo. I think the Dodgers are going to try and unlock, Michael, what Gallo could continued. He internalized that. You could see him during games. There was a level of frustration. Pastures in LA, but his time with New York will go down as a huge disappointment.
They tell.
He wanted so badly to be a part of it and to be a major contributor. If he learned anything from that Joey Gallo deal and the way they evaluate as much due diligence as they can on every player. This is just a situation where it didn't anything that he did. He was a guy that was in the cage constantly trying to get right for whatever reason. Wanted to play for. He wanted to be a New York Yankee, and I think that weighed on him even more last year.
Runner at second base, 1 out here in the third. It's 3-0. Seattle. Now, Paul. Stripes are very, very heavy. And there are some guys that just don't do well with it. You were a guy.
But it's a much more laid-back situation. But to think that he did.
That'll be an E5 on Donaldson as Suarez reaches and Frazier moves it.
See if he can change his luck and do things. But he's got a long way to go because and when they don't work out, you know, they become big ordeals and big things.
Meredith, what Aaron Boone said, he said, when people don't make it here, they all of a sudden say, it's here.
He just never was able to kind of get out of his own way. It just seemed like he carried so much weight. He was a good teammate, well-liked in that clubhouse, but he wasn't producing offense.
It was in the last hour before the trade deadline that the Yankees are fielding calls on Gleyber Torres.
Some calls that were made regarding Gleyber Torres, and you're right, Michael. It doesn't mean that they tell you. His job as a GM is to listen to everything that is going on and try and but it'll be a sacrifice fly. And I find it interesting, guys, that Cashman admits conversations in the air right up until the 6 p.m. deadline, including, well, how close were they maybe to adding another starter? John Heyman of the new better. Efros is going to be a really nice addition to the bullpen, and I bet you he starts.
J.P. Crawford at the plate. Let me ask you this, Jack, before we let you go.
Well, Michael, my quick answer would be no. Because Juan Soto's 23, talent level, a guy with power and a great eye, which you can see in the time. It should cost you a lot of talent. You should have to give up a lot of young talent.
Check swing, and you know, I mean, look at the team that they had. They won a World Series 3 years ago, and they're all gone. They couldn't keep sure.
If you're a Nationals fan right now.
Swing and a miss, and that will do it.
Program yesterday. He continued it today, throwing at 90 feet. He spoke in the clubhouse early, even though he had only been shut down for 2 weeks. They want to make sure they get it right with Severino. Not
bottom of the third with a single. You know what I like too, Meredith, that it's just proof positive that he didn't expect it. He said, you know what? Everything that was going on, we never had a chance to.
He actually faces batters, and he's a ways away from that.
And, you know, with the trade of
Did that in the clubhouse earlier today. Also, Michael, noteworthy, Frankie Montas is not. And Clark Schmidt was optioned the other day. He'll remain stretched out as a starter should the Yankees need a
runner on first base. Pitch outside, 1-2.
About Harrison Bader. In the back of your mind, you're thinking, well, you know what? There's a risk. It's kind of a pat on the back as far as, you know, wake up, things go.
Well, the Yankee center fielder is really the only part of the team that
are analytic numbers where I mean, Aaron Judge has been phenomenal. I mean, when I saw him play the first day.
That's to me.
Yeah, I mean, those are, you know, hypothetical numbers. has not had the year that you would think, but you know, he hasn't been in center.
Here in the third.
And we talked about it I've never seen a hitter use that part of the field as much as he does off his
slider.
He got one fastball last count.
There's a strike on.
He is not going to give in and just try to pick his spots where he can.
It shows what pitches a hitter hits and which one they struggle. There's only one blowing away pitch.
Yeah, most of those are usually out of the strike zone like that. You know.
The 1-2 outside. The 2-2. 3-2. Rizzo. And he walked him. Very careful with Judge.
His first at bat ahead in the count. Went to 3 consecutive.
Than any pitcher in baseball when he releases the pitch. That pitch outside. Runners go, and they've got him picked off. The throw to second. They have Judge. Here comes LeMahieu, and he is out.